you trying to get crazy with this scene? Don't you know I'm loco?
And we were both working at Salud, and we had this building, and then finally, with no idea what we were going to do. No idea what we were going to do. No coffee shop, no nothing. We just knew we had a door and a window and 4 walls, you know. So we just kind of like brainstormed, and we wanted to do something real communal, like, you know, with the community. And we came up with the coffee shop.
What's up, everybody? This is Bobby Tribal, aka Bobby Ruiz, and it's time for Lower Left Podcast. I'm here with my man Johnny Be Good.
What's up, Bobby?
Aka Johnny Sweat.
We covered that last podcast.
Johnny Sweats, and we got some really cool people here today. Some San Diego VIPs. We have Caro and Milo from Por Vida and Barrio Logan. What's happening?
Hey, hello everybody.
How you guys doing?
Great.
Good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Just off vacay mode. Now we're back into grind mode.
Yeah. How was that vacation?
Vacation was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
What'd you guys do?
We went to Europe for the first time. And it was how many days were we there?
10 days.
10 days, and I mean, we needed another 10.
Right.
But yeah, no, 10 days, I guess, of Europe is rad. It's definitely one for the books.
Yeah, 10 days definitely wasn't enough to see everything, but it was a good intro.
Yeah.
What were some of the highlights?
I loved Amsterdam. Amsterdam was just like...
Man, that is so surprising.
Yeah, the first day there, as soon as I touched down, I went in. Where's a coffee shop? Got me some, I don't even know, some gelato kush, whatever. It's been a while since I smoked too.
Yeah.
So I went in and dove right in, and that was it. I retired after that.
Yeah, it's easy to get stuck there.
I was
like
stuck.
Physically and mentally.
I was stuck.
It's a beautiful place. I love it, man. I have the best memories from Amsterdam. It's
right.
And people think that you go there just because you're gonna party and get stoned and get high, but no, that's definitely a part of it if you want to partake in that. But the people are really cool. The Dutch people are really cool. It's a beautiful city. Beautiful city. Like just walking around.
Yeah,
people,
the scenery was gorgeous. Like walking through all the canals and the buildings in itself and the plants that hang from it. Yeah, it was gorgeous.
The crooked buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they all lead. That's right. We did.
Why is that? Is that
because they're canals, and it's all the ground under them isn't stable and solid and rock. It just kind of they moved so things just kind of move because of moisture.
I wasn't sure if it was true.
I'm pretty sure that yeah. I don't think.
I mean, they're just they're leaning, and then the other one leans, and then yeah.
It's the same in Mexico City. The buildings are where the street is. The buildings are going deeper because it's over late. Yeah. So it's probably the same.
Yeah, it's kind of that same concept. I think. Just the ground's not super solid.
Yeah, you know what it was? It's like the people there it was like San Diego vibes. Everybody was real laid back. It was chill. It was real. The weather was San Diego. It was beautiful. It was dope. I want to go back already. I get to stay in Amsterdam and just chill. You know what was crazy though? The food, bro. I don't know. It was
different.
Missing spices or what?
Nah, dude. It was nothing. It was I was expecting something. Well, they love French fries.
They're the pommes frites. Everybody walks around with the French fries and mayonnaise, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what you do there is shawarma.
Okay,
yeah,
yes,
we had that, and it was
a lot of shawarma,
okay,
falafel, stuff like that, and then also anything that's European. Like there's some really good Italian spots, and there's also a friend of mine owned a Thai restaurant right outside or was kind of in the red light district.
Yeah, we had a bomb Thai Chinese place.
So there's stuff there, but if you're looking for Dutch traditional Dutch food, it's out there, but I don't remember anything that really was whoa.
Yeah.
Except for the cheese. Like they have some amazing cheese and
we did
wine
see
and
a ton
cheese
of
on a
shops.
little boat cruising the canal. There's nothing like that. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. It was dope.
Nice galleries and stuff you were saying, huh?
Yeah, galleries, art, cities full of art everywhere. It's just nonstop. It's fast paced too. I felt like it was really fast paced. People are out there. They had urgency. The people were going everywhere, bikes. And if you don't know the kind of like Japan, you know, if you don't know the etiquette on the street, people are start honking at you, get out the way, you know. So it's kind of like how Japan too. You walk. You know, when you walk, you're going, no stopping, you know, so.
If you're going to stop, move to the side.
Yeah. So,
especially down those main streets and stuff like that.
Yeah. Those main little dark alleys. They're like, it's a trip, dude. But I loved it. I'm ready to go back.
The whole vibe. Man. It gets really nice in the winter. It gets cold and the canals freeze sometimes. And
that's what I think.
It snows and the Christmassy vibe in Amsterdam is insane.
That's what we heard.
Super beautiful. Like just a cultural, big difference from what we experience here.
Right.
And that's when you can get some really good like pastries and, hot chocolates and crepes. They set up these like crepe spots that are.
Yeah, we saw some of that. Dude.
I'll be there in a couple weeks.
What about magical brownies?
You could do that too.
They got those truffles.
Truffles.
They got truffles over there. It's truffles and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. We didn't partake in the truffle part.
When in Rome,
I know. She was down. I was kind of like,
you gotta cut them in a quarter because they're probably like so good, or a half, or if you're just down to eat one. But there's a lot of cannabis infused chocolates and pastries and cookies and stuff like that.
Yeah, cannabis rules the world.
There's some really, really cool stuff to do that. Great, like I said, great memories. I'm glad. And you went someplace else too, didn't you guys go?
Yeah, we did Amsterdam. We went through like Brussels and where else did we go to? We went to Belgium, and then we ended up in Europe. From Europe, we ended up in Paris. I'm sorry, we ended up in Paris, which was rad. It was super rad, dude. It was cool. It's cool. Good trip.
The thing about Paris is the language.
Yeah,
definitely. There's a language barrier there that you don't you don't experience too much. I mean, if you're in Spain, you speak Spanish. If you're in Amsterdam, you can get away with speaking English, or obviously like London, stuff like that. But once you get to Germany, even a lot of people there speak English. But I think in France, it's not as common, and they're not as accommodating.
Right.
For people that are speaking English. So Paris was cool.
Yeah, Paris was cool. We were only there for how many days?
4 days in Paris.
Yeah, we did the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff.
All the touristy stuff.
Yeah, we did the touristy. We went to the Gucci store, the Louis store. We did all that. Nike store, 4 stories. We were in love. We loved that. And then we copped some shoes out there, and it was dope, man. It was an experience. I ran into this dude out there, man, who had a Padre hat on. I was all like, whoa. I was like, what? It was like, what?
Did he know what he had? Or
yeah, he did. He said he was, he said he'd been to California and San Diego a few times, and he loved the Padres, so, and then, we had some great, it was cool. There was a lot of, San Diego, like things that happened to us where it was relatable. We were like, oh my God, so it was cool though. It was definitely a trip to remember. And people were, it was dope.
What'd you eat out there?
In Paris, what did we have?
Italian food mainly.
Yeah, we had some sushi. It was fire.
Was it?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did they have Mexican cooks like they do out here?
Exactly.
No, but the sushi was good. I was a little hesitant. I was all like, but nah, it was good. What else did we have? Did we go to any fancy restaurant out there?
No, because the final 2 days we were in Disneyland.
Yeah, we went to Disneyland. What are we talking about? We went to Disneyland in Paris. How major is that? Yeah. It's just like LA, but it seemed like a little bit more cleaner. And but it was dope. Same thing. It's weird because when you got there and you walked in, it was like the layout was exactly the same. You walked through the street and all the shops, and it was all like, man, they really copied this place to look just like. And then instead of going to the left to, what's it called? the place here, California Adventures.
Yeah.
They have a place called, what was it called?
Disney Experience. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like the Disney Experience
or
or something, and they had like a little.
No, Disney Village.
Disney
I
Village.
think.
Yeah, and it was weird, but it was cool. You know, they had their little thing going on. It was dope though. It was dope. There was people from that place. Was a melt like everybody. There were so many nationalities there because I think so many people from Europe like go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like you couldn't tell where people were from. You know what I mean? I thought we stood out. We did stand out. People would be constantly just like
even in Amsterdam, we stood out,
staring at us. You know, because I mean, you know, the tattoos and how we were dressed. You know, people were just like trying to catch the vibe. You know what I mean? So it was cool though. It was good, great experience, and can't wait to do it again.
And then towards the end of your trip, you're just craving a burrito or some good Mexican food, or towards the end of the trip, those McDonald's start to look a little good.
Oh yeah, we had McDonald's out there.
You know what I mean? Like you don't really. I don't eat McDonald's here. Rarely. Like I can't remember the last time I had McDonald's, but when I travel, like if I'm in Asia or something, not Japan so much, but you know, other Asian countries, and towards the end of the trip, I'm like,
dude, I gotta do it. Yeah. I did it. I did it when we were in Japan. I snuck away. Everybody was doing their thing, and I go, all right, it's time for me to go to McDonald's.
And did it taste the same?
I don't know if it was.
Dude, when you're out there and you really craving it, it tastes even better.
I think me and Dane went and got it. And somebody, we went, and we're like, oh, there's a McDonald's over there. He's all with you. We went over there. We got these hamburger burgers. Like, oh my God, it's so good. You know? But I did it in Japan, so I did it again in Europe. I did have McDonald's.
And we have Five Guys.
Oh, yeah, we had Five Guys, too.
Oh, wow. In Paris?
Disneyland.
Oh, in Disneyland.
Yeah, we had Five Guys out there. That was exactly the same. You couldn't tell the difference.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was dope.
Right on. Well, it's good to have you guys back. So we'll get to, so Milo, so man, it's how long ago did Salud open?
2014.
2014.
So Milo was a big part of helping to activate Logan Avenue. He was working at first. You were working with Ernie from Salud, right?
Right.
And you helped him to get that going and helped him with the marketing, the design, and putting a crew together there.
Right.
And you correct me if I'm wrong, because it's rare, but it happens. Yeah, right. But so what was that like? I mean, I know you were there. Now Logan Avenue is kind of a focal point for people that visit.
Right.
San Diego now. It's become kind of not just a place for people from San Diego to go, but now there's like tourist buses that go in there, and they bring bus loads to Chicano Park, and you have those little city tours and trolleys and stuff that stop there in Barrio Logan, and you'll walk down the Logan Avenue, and there's people
tours.
Man, people giving tours, and international people, and a lot more ethnicities that are in Barrio Logan. And since Salud got in there's all kinds of cool businesses that popped up. So after you left Salud to open Por Vida, right?
Yep.
And can you tell us a little bit about that and what that vision was like?
So actually at that time, me and Caro were both still at Salud working with Ernie. I
blew it. She was there too. That's right. You guys were both there.
Yeah.
That's right.
She pretty much held it down. The front end, the back end, the side, everywhere, and we just kind of followed Caro's lead and Ernie's lead, and just kind of made it happen. It was a great idea, from the jump. I think having that there in Barrio Logan, like it really like turned on a light switch for the neighborhood.
Having
Salud there.
I agree. The
park is always...
It was a catalyst.
Yeah, the park is the heart, you know what I mean? That's always been there. Then we had, Cuatro Milpas, and then before Salud, back in the day, used to be the...
Porky Land,
so like it's had its time, it's ran its course, but I think once I mean, I'll say it, once Salud kind of like came on that block, it was like a light switch where it was true activation.
Yeah,
along with La Bodega.
It was definitely the catalyst, I think, for Logan Avenue, and that's where people started really paying attention to it, and Salud. Everybody wanted to go to Salud. It was a place to go, the place to go eat, a place to be seen, place to post or whatever it was you were doing, and then. From there, it just kind of
took off.
Yeah, man. And look at it now. You can't park, bro.
It's a beast.
There's no park.
It's a piggy bank for the meter maids.
Yeah.
They got meters there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not meters on the street, but the meter maid that goes around in a little car.
Yeah.
So they're ticketing people now?
Dude, yeah. They've been. I remember one time me and Ernie were talking, this is years ago, and Ernie was like, dude, I got like $3,000 worth of parking tickets. And I'm like, no way. So yeah, it's worse now. Right? It's worse now. I just paid some last night.
Dude, it happened relatively really fast.
Yeah.
Like really fast. If you're talking about, what's that, 7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like how many businesses...
Oh, man, there's so many on that block, and there's so many thriving businesses on that block. There was a lot of businesses that came in there and for whatever reason kind of came and left. But for the most part, the businesses that are there, they sustain themselves even through COVID. You know what I mean? I mean, we all took some blows, during COVID, but at the same time, like we didn't let that stop us really, we had to keep moving. We're small mom and pops. We couldn't like put it on pause. You know what I mean? There was no, we were the people that were paying the incomes out for these other people that were working there. Yeah. So how do we stop that? You know what I mean? So it was a crazy moment, but, we got through it, and the block is thriving still right now. Real cool businesses on that block. Bernie with the record shop, and Arts and Rec is there. Arts and Rec just came through, and those guys held it down, man. Mike Metcalf and his crew.
That Italian restaurant is the bombest.
Chicha.
Dude, that spot is amazing. That's my favorite Italian spot in San Diego. And who would have thought? They're great people. They get down.
Yeah.
And then Hayes' Burgers down there, they're doing great too, right next to the park. Great burger.
Yeah. Who else? And then Barrio Dog. They just had yesterday. The Food Network was there all day yesterday, shooting a big segment on them guys. So, Pablo and his crew, they hold it down. I don't think there's anybody on that block that doesn't really just like hold it.
Oh wait, San Diego Vintage.
that weirdo. I just saw him this morning.
We're gonna have him in here. Shout out Carlos Paez.
Dude, I love that guy.
That dude, whatever.
That guy is he's something else.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's the best. How could I forget? Like, sheesh.
Yeah. He's staying.
Gold Rose is right there. Those dudes are doing their thing. They get down.
There's just so much people, and that's the thing. Like, and I know it's going to come up in this about the whole gentrification thing.
Oh, it's coming.
But that's the thing, though. It's like people want to like say stuff about the businesses and want to talk about what's going on in Barrio Logan. But man, like, take a step back and look at who's doing it. It's all brown folks. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you want to really go and like talk about some true gentrification, come and see me. I'll give you a list of places you can go stand in front and protest. You know what I mean? Don't go and hit the people that are from the neighborhood, and like, what are you doing? So it's just, but I call them trolls, the internet gives people platforms to talk and stuff, but it's like, our doors are open, man. You got something to say about how we run business and how we operate, we're here, instead of going and leaving a salty message or something, like, come through the door. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like the way,
let's talk about it.
You don't like expensive $4 lattes, say what you want, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
So, we get it all the time, but it is what it is, man. It's like,
the neighborhood's thriving. Property values have gone up. Families that there's job opportunities.
There is.
I think it's the concern with some of the people regarding gentrification is, I think, more ownership, building ownership, business ownership. And you're right, a lot of those businesses are Chicano owned, and there's a lot of cool people making money. And if property values are considered the people that live in the neighborhood, their property value has, doubled, tripled, quadrupled over the last 10 years. So I would imagine that's a good thing. But
there's two sides to every story.
Yeah, there is. And the main, what we all care about, and I'm sure as well as you guys do, is protecting Chicano Park.
Right.
And
the displacement of the community too, definitely. The people that been living on them streets for, years. We got my boy Spider, that he's been living on that block all his life. That's all he knows. And his mom, just passed away, rest in peace, and it's people like that, like the sustainability of like, how do they keep that house, the legacy of that family still there. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just can't, even in a perfect world, you couldn't direct it the right way.
Right.
You know
but
I mean?
There's a lot of people that have roots in Barrio Logan. My wife, my mother-in-law is from Logan. Yeah. And actually Sabrina and her sisters lived across the street from the park for a while when they were little girls in a basement. Yeah. Julian Ramirez, a DJ who did the intro for this show.
Yeah. His uncle's Gino.
They owns the Logan Inn, and
Gino's such a good dude.
I know you have roots in Logan too.
My family, everybody.
And there's, it's something that a lot of us from San Diego, and, I've had some really great, with this podcast, some amazing opportunities to talk to, Rigo Reyes and Lucas and Hector and dudes that have very strong roots, not just in Barrio Logan, but around Chicano Park. So I'm hoping, I've been educated, and I'm hoping that the listeners being educated, and there's different perspectives that are being, brought to the table and discussed, which is, I think it's important.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's trying to keep positivity and peace, if you will, in the neighborhood, and prosperity for not just, the community, but for people that are coming in and trying to help the community grow rather than, take from the community. And I think that's just like anything else. It's you protect what's yours. Regardless, people are going to protect what they feel they have a right to and is theirs. And especially if, like you said, they have roots there and they have family there. It's like, well, wait a minute. We don't want this coming into our neighborhood because,
And I get that, and that's why you have the people like Lucas and those
amazing
guys.
Dude. That dude blew my mind. Like, man, he speaks, dude. He came in, he started to speak, and if you guys haven't listened to the podcast we did with Lucas and Hector, it's I think it was, I don't know what we called that episode. I think it was the Chicano Park episode. Yeah, listen to those guys. Bro. Yeah, very well spoken and had a for me. I didn't know what to expect going into that podcast, and I was blown away by those dudes. Yeah, like they're just amazing. I think Caro was the one who told me talk to Lucas. Yeah. I had asked Caro, like, who should I talk to besides Hector, and Lucas, you. I think you gave me his number, and I contacted him, and he came in. Oh, it's man, solid. He's a youngster.
Yeah. Youngster.
And those are the type of people that are going to keep that whole legacy and protect Chicano Park for the next.
They're like he's fully committed. Yeah. There's no days off. Like, he lives, breathes, eats the park. Like, he's all in.
And not only is he's a big part of the Chicano Park steering committee, but now it's what's cool to have Lucas on the block now. We like, I could say, like, I see him there. He's involved with Copal, the place down the street, the healing space they have down there, him and Irma and Vero and them, and they run that. And Lucas is, I think he's jumped in that now. So it's like, it's not only now, it's like before it was like Logan Avenue was kind of like, doing its thing, but now I think like he's there, he could kind of like not necessarily vouch for what's going on there, but he sees it. Yeah. I'm sure he's always seen it, but seeing it and actually being a part of that, it's two different things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm just super. It's important
thankful for him to be there. Like I think, it is. And just because, you know, like you said, he's seeing it, but also to have places, you know, like the one that he's working at and some of the galleries and stuff, just to maintain the Chicanismo in Barrio Logan. And I think that's what some people are afraid of is, I mean, it'll never be lost completely because the park's there, but, you know, just to maintain that degree where it's not taken over by, you know, chain corporate businesses and the wrong businesses and just creating the wrong energy down there. And it's and if nobody protected or nobody said anything, then I'm sure it could happen.
Yeah. Right. It would have happened already. You know, these guys would have rented, you know, a place on the block to a Starbucks or to a 7-Eleven or to a, you know, once you start getting those, it's like like I said, like a light switch. One of those guys gets one of those tenants in there and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So it's very important that we keep the integrity of, you know, the Brown, businesses and just, you know, to keep the culture there. You know, we can't lose that. It's like, that's the fabric of the whole of Barrio Logan.
But that's the attraction of it as well.
It is. And me and you, we've had this conversation, you know, and, you know, there's, you know, we always say, you know, there's these culture vultures out there that just drain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember when you did say that, and we've had this conversation years ago, and I really didn't understand what you were really saying because I think I just sit in it, you know, but I took myself out of what, you know, what it was. And I was all like, man, Bobby said this and Bobby's so right. You know what I mean? And it's really not about being right or wrong, but you recognized it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I kind of stepped back and I was just like, man, like, is that what's happening? You know, but you know, I just feel like if you're doing it from the heart and you're doing it with good intention, you know, as Chicanos, then, you know, then roll with it, you know. Yeah. But if you feel like, you know, some lanes are kind of like just coming in there and just ripping it apart.
But people like yourself and Caro and Lucas and people in the neighborhood, you guys are kind of the keepers of the neighborhood or of the street as well. Like you're going to see things, you see somebody come in and be like, this ain't right. Like, for example, I'm not going to name any names, but there was people attempting to open a business real close to where you were at. Mm-hmm. And everybody knew that it was wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Mm-hmm. And it was actually a business that would, you know, compete with yours. And we kind of knew the vibe of the ownership and everybody was like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that stuff works itself out.
It did. Yeah. It exactly. It worked itself out and it didn't come into existence. No. And I think it worked itself out because that energy surrounded it.
Right.
Just all the energy of the people in the community. And I think maybe they felt that energy and then they realized, you know what, this isn't going to work. It's not, we're not a good fit for this neighborhood. And bye-bye.
That's it. It's gone.
You know, but I don't even think the door is actually open, but you know, people, there's people out there that don't understand that concept. And then, well, what do you mean? I'm just going to open a business right here. Well, no, there's more to it. This is a community that runs real deep.
Yeah.
Real deep.
And going back to like the Lucases and the Patricias and all these other, you know, people that are on that activist side that really stand up, like, that's what they do. They're very good at that. You know what I mean? And like, I support that. I couldn't go in there and, I know, and jump in the front line and be there because that's just not my thing.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta be on point for that. Yep. You know what I mean? Because people are going to hit you with some questions.
And that, you know what? That's exactly what was so impressive with Lucas and Hector. Is like, I threw some questions and I was like, I'm going to hit these guys with some difficult questions. And they were 200%. I don't even think they had to prepare. They know this shit front and back, you know,
side to side.
All the way. They just they put it out there like it was, and just eloquently too, like just very, very well spoken.
I look up to them guys, to that, that whole unit, and I thank them for what they do, because what they do is not easy. Yeah, and to really stand up for community and just kind of just be about it like how they are. It's a lot, because I feel like we do what we do, and it's a lot, but on that level of answering questions and reasons why things are the way they are, it's apples and oranges. So I respect them a lot for all that.
But what do you? I mean, this is kind of a question that people tend to ask me, and I never think that deep, or I'm not that deep. But did you ever think that that Logan Avenue on that street would turn into what it is now? Like when at the beginning, when you guys were at Salud, like, did you ever think like, man, one day this is going to be full of tourism, and, there's going to be people, lined up outside, or you come on a Saturday or Sunday and you can't park anywhere, and it's just like, it's the hot spot. Did you ever think that?
I did. I think I felt it because of, we were doing some stuff prior to that on Main Street, and we had built a following, and I seen that following, like, it was consistent. I wouldn't say as big as it is now, and when you got the History Channel and you got all these big people watching, we were on a pamphlet in American Airlines talking about body. It's above and beyond, I think, just the neighborhood now, you know what I mean? And that's the scary part, because it's like all eyes are on this block of, it's like a 3-4 block radius, and
they're small blocks,
blocks, but obviously now it goes blocks, now national. You got the Mujeres, they got the brew house over there, so it's starting to like expand and get like not just a block anymore. You know what I mean? So but I kind of saw it, but nothing to where it is now. There's no way.
I think it kind of coincides with Instagram, the rise of social media influencers, YouTube, and all that. Because once you tag like the History Channel or Food Network, people see that and they want to be hip and they want to get into what's new and exciting. For a lot of people, that's new and exciting. And it definitely helped get the word out about events and businesses such as yours, because I used to go there. Well, we'd have our car club meetings down the block at Chicano Park, like 2000, 2001. But then I used to go get my hair cut at Two Roses, 2006 maybe, and there was nothing there, other than that. But now to see it, it's like it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's like I said, the change has been drastic. For like when you want to say 5 to 7 years, that you can't get like. It's been crazy.
You mentioned because you had the spot, in Barrio Logan, and going. I'm going to take it back even since before Salud. You were very active in the community of Logan Heights with your gallery, and bringing people into the neighborhood, not just Chicanos, but you were working with a lot of different artists and doing events and working with organizations in your galleries. Can you tell us about that a little bit? The spot.
I was there was a gallery called Vosalta. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Vosalta. It was ran by Carlos Beltran, really good friend of mine. I went to high school with him. Long story short, I was super intrigued by what he was doing. I just saw, just to see people gather and kind of like this whole art thing. It was new to me, and I saw it, and I was just like, man, this is super cool. Like, why are people so attracted? And to be honest with you, and I mean, Bobby, you've been around, aside of just the brand of Tribal. I mean, Tribal has been ran off artists and art, but worldwide, you know what I mean? So, and the local guys that I think you've messed with that were here in San Diego, there was really no platform for artists in San Diego. Someone said, oh yeah, North Park has an art scene. And I'm like, where? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of art are you talking about? So, with that being said, I was like, you know what, man, I would love to do like a cool art gallery. And me and a friend named, Anna Brown, and Bob Green, Beto, and Chris Sertucci, we put together this art gallery, and it was on after that. We just kind of like, from how I feel, we really like solidified like this art scene in San Diego with this underground music scene, and from there it just flourished. I mean, we had, man, in Barrio Logan 20 I can't even think of the year, but it was before anything. We had Chicano Batman like playing in the alley at our place. Like, come on, you're talking about these guys that are just, and this is before the hype was like, going on. So we were already dabbling in stuff that we didn't even know. We were, I know it's just one of those things where it's like you work with people that were, the movers and the shakers of the city. And that's what happened. We were working with Unite. We were working with all these people that were doing stuff, these DJs, these artists, and they were just like, everyone saw what we were doing and they all wanted to be a part of it. And it was like, it was on. We did this art show called the Illest Art Show. I think I had like 45 canvases in this big warehouse, dude. It was huge. And like, no one was doing that. You know what I mean? These canvases were 12 feet by 8 feet. And I had like Zane from back in the day. Like I had, Persuade, Phil, from TV, like all these, now these guys they're major, you know what I mean? They're doing big things now. So it's like, but before that, there was no platforms really for San Diego artists to get on like that, so that was like the beginning of it. And from there, we went from the spot, we went to La Bodega, and from that, it just kind of like, it just was overflow, and it was so much, but there is an art scene in San Diego, and it's crushing it now, what I mean? But like I said, I can honestly say, I'm not one to say that we started it, but we definitely like put the spotlight on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, just to give credit where credit's due, is like you were right there.
Yeah.
Like you were a part of not just the catalyst of the art community moving into Barrio Logan, but the business community moving into the neighborhood as well. And that's, right. But, I know, and Caro, I don't know if she knows this or not, but she's a badass. Like, she really is. And it's not just me saying that. No, people say that about Caro. Like, the way she runs her business, the way she organizes things, the way she, conducts her business. And ever since she was at Salud, it was known like she kills it.
She did.
And then to move from Salud to Por Vida was definitely it was a risk, just like any other business. But, having her on your team, I'm sure it made things a little more, less scary, so to speak. But how, tell us about the birth of Por Vida. No, you, Caro. She
no, my look is so good.
So, let me say this though, and then it'll be the Rivers to LT right here. Okay, I'm gonna hand this off to you. You just gotta run through the goal line, right? Yeah. So we were both at Salud, right? And there was a building down the street that I used to walk by, and this little old man was in front, and I said, "Hey, what are you gonna do with this space?" And he was all like, "You want to rent it?" And I'm like, yeah, that would be cool, I went and told Caro. Of course, the first thing she tells me is like, you are crazy. We got so much on our plate. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. So, like, anyways, I drag her over there. She sees the building. She gives me the okay. We take the building. It sat for almost 1 year. 8 months.
Close to that.
8 months. And we were both working at Salud. And we had this building, and then finally, with no idea what we were going to do. No idea what we were going to do. No coffee shop, no nothing. We just knew we had a door and a window and
we wanted to
4
do
walls,
something.
So, we just kind of like brainstormed, and we wanted to do something real communal, like, with the community. And we came up with the coffee shop, man. We came up with the coffee shop, and and it was all downhill. I left Salud, went to the coffee shop. We started it, and I don't know if you remember Bucky.
Yeah, of course,
yeah, Bucky. So me, Bucky, and Caro got together, and we just kind of like brainstormed this coffee shop. And then she stayed, and Caro stayed at Salud for another how long?
2 years.
Another 2 years, bro.
Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
So she was at Salud, and then we opened the coffee shop for another 2 years, and then she, you know what it was? I was all like, hey, you gotta pick a side now over here, dude. You know? So finally,
no, I never felt like I
would never do that. But she, what?
No, but I think it was just time for me to like truly focus on the business, on Por Vida, for us to take it to the next level. I feel like in how Milo and I work as in our partnership, it's always been a true like team effort, and all of us staying in our lane with what we're the best at. With him, like he's 100% a true visionary. Like,
Hypes.
100%. Like if it wasn't for the people and that he knows, for the things that he's already done with the Roots Factory, the spot, his overall network, knowing you, plus everyone that we've met along the ways, that's all contributed to where we're at today. And with me, like I am definitely more like the organizer, the structure, doing things the right way, as much as possible. And being, they call me the warden, like being on top and
that's
being
what
the
I meant,
disciplinary.
dude. She's a badass. Like
you know?
she did a whole merch program for you guys.
Oh,
like
yeah, dude,
you see the menu, you see everything, and Milo, I have a nickname for Milo, is Milo Hypes.
Milo Hypes, bro.
he can hype anything.
Yeah,
like he's
100%.
hypes, but it's good because he did that across the board, from starting at the spot and everything else he did, you know, from Salud to Por Vida and the network. And Milo gets really excited. Like he's really excited about what he does. And you can tell he's passionate
so good
about
at
it.
selling things on me. He's like, but babe, look, we could do this. Even with the carrito, when he initially like told me about it, I was like,
man.
no, you are absolutely crazy. There's absolutely no way we could take on another thing. And at the end of the day, I was like, there's no way I could take on another thing, because I know you're going to be the face, you're going to get people in here, we're going to crush it, but I don't know if I could mentally be ready to like set that whole system up.
Yeah.
She said yes.
But I said yes.
And that's the other business that their family's involved with, is El Carrito.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And El Carrito is right next door to Por Vida. Tell us about that, how that came to be, and the actual trolley car, and how the hell did that trolley car get there?
It's an awesome story. So El Carrito is actually, the structure in itself is an old 1920 trolley cart that used to run on the San Diego trolley system from like Lemon Grove to down south.
There was a rail right down Logan Avenue.
Yeah, right on Logan Avenue. That's why the street is curved. But Al, I don't really recall his last name, but he's one of the OG property owners in Barrio Logan. He was a visionary community activist himself in Barrio Logan. And he had the vision of converting the trolley cart into a restaurant. So he had a group of guys push the trolley cart onto his property, and then slowly but surely ended up turning the trolley cart into what his vision was. And from there, like, it just became the spot for community meetings, for it was also like a late night spot. Mm-hmm. They would close like at 4 a.m, and the name always stayed El Carrito up to the time that we took it over in 2017, because the space had like so much history and it was just known. We couldn't like even think of changing the name to something different. So we ended up keeping it. We partnered with my parents, and my mom came up with this amazing menu. And now, like, people have, we brought new life to it, new flavors, and now it's doing amazing.
You did a great job too, like refurbishing it and designing it and painting it.
And we try to keep the integrity as much as possible with the colorways. We try to keep the colorways of the little trolley cart from back in the day. So yeah.
So cool. that's kind of it's become kind of the center of the block.
Yeah,
you know, right there, Por Vida and El Carrito, right there in the middle of the block, right across. Cool. Yeah, it's just watching me, you know, just from the time with the spot, all watching the whole growth down there. It's been a trip, to say the least. And Milo and I, we've engaged in so many different conversations about what's going on and just how things are going. But so Por Vida has grown from, so you guys started it and you've been through a remodel. So you started it with a couple of remodels, and then you've recently opened with, how long ago did the second location open up?
Last year in November, in Plaza Bonita Mall.
How's that? Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's going amazing. I mean, I grew up going to Plaza Bonita Mall. Never in my life walking through that mall would I imagine I'd have a business in that mall. And same with Milo.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up going to that mall when we were kids. So to be able to be there and have now a business there, it's a trip. And it's still just people going in and out and running into people that I haven't seen in years. And it's been, you know, and we opened up during COVID too. So people thought we were pretty crazy. But like me and Gato, we're big advocates of, like, you know, like if your heart and your intention is good and, you know, you just kind of like, it's going to happen for you. You know what I mean? If you're hesitant about something, and you're like, you probably shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Because that's your first, you know, cue of like, hey, you just, you know, wait till, and I've learned that from Gato, you know, like she's really like taught me that, because I would doubt myself on a lot of things. And she'll be like, dude, but if you really feel like that, why would you not? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You know, so we had no doubt an opening during COVID. People said we were crazy, and it's been uphill, like, it's been good. It's been good. I wouldn't even, I mean, it's been amazing. And, I'm excited for, you know, we have another project coming up, and, you know, it's going to be our third location, and we're going to start roasting, and, you know, and we're just like waiting to see, like, for us, opportunity comes up, we jump on it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not to be some opportunist or some, like, you know, just to be
when
in the mix.
Right.
But when it feels right, yeah. Like, because once you let it go, it's gone, and then you're gonna be like, man, what would have happened? You know? So we kind of like, when good stuff comes up, we'll make that decision of what we're gonna do next.
And now the warehouse that we recently signed the lease for, where our third location will be, Milo actually was for a while now like, babe, let's get this warehouse, and I have a vision, and we could have a coffee shop there and have a barber shop and have this, that, and the other. And we were just patient. We waited probably like 8 months. We actually almost like signed a lease on a couple locations, but for whatever reason, it just, once we got to that point where it was time to sign, it just didn't feel right. Mm-hmm. So we waited until we finally found the perfect opportunity. And yeah, we're super excited for that.
So that without giving too much away. Yeah. So is that, how close is that?
It's close. It's
not like, close geographically. Like we're not going to give that. Are we going to give that away or no?
End of the year, by the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
Yeah.
By the end of the year.
That's coming fast.
Yeah, that's coming fast.
Yeah, we're going to do it up, and you know, I mean, tribal. This compound here, it's always been like something that I've looked at, and I've always said, like, someday, you know, I want to have something for my business where I can call home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like what you did with tribal, and it was like a goal for me. It was definitely inspiration. I walk in here and I see your boys working in here, and I see like I see, you know, it's always been family. But when I see your kids, and, you know, and I see that, like, dude, that just, like, it hits me a whole different way.
Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, I mean, we got Lucini, he's 13 years old. He's working now 3 days out of the week in the shop. Yeah, I don't know, should we say that? Sorry. He's 18 years old.
He gets paid.
No, I thought he just turned 19.
Yeah, he's 19 years old. He's doing great. He's out of college. But no, but just honestly, like to see those kind of things, like that's what I think everybody envisions at one time. I'm seeing what I want to do through what you've done.
I appreciate that.
I feel like, dude, you've always been like my mentor, you know what I mean? Of like, oh my God, this is exactly it. I follow it closely. And I really do. I really do.
That is true.
No, I appreciate
There's
that.
times where I'm like, I don't know, have you called Bobby about this? Yeah. You need to call him.
The question is like, what would Bobby Tribal do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's probably asleep.
Yeah. No, because like I said, I just respect, what you've done. In every aspect of business, shake a drink, take a drink.
Okay, thanks.
But, it's just, going back though, seeing the kids here and seeing that, like I knew like that was our next move. And I want to build that compound for me and Caro and Lucine, our family and our kids, you know what I mean? And just build. Yeah. And I think with that comes community and it comes the opportunity.
It's your legacy, building on your family legacy.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what it's about, that next generation,
Exactly.
And the way I always put it with my kids is like, if you want to do it, cool. If you don't want to do it, cool.
Exactly.
Because I can't expect any of my 3 kids, my sons or my daughter, like to do me. Or
right.
to go into what I do. It maybe they're passionate. Like Bobbles actually has his passion for music, and Isaac has his own brand, and he has his own. They both work here, and Seychelle's doing what she does. But if it's there, you give them the opportunity, and if they want the opportunity, cool. But it's kind of you can present it to them, and if they want to do it, cool. If they can't, then I'm sure they'll be successful with whatever it is they decide to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's how we feel. We got Marina at the shop. She kind of runs basically Logan. She kind of like facilitates that, and that's another thing.
Do you guys still have the truck?
Yeah, we still have a coffee truck too, bro. We still have a coffee truck. It's right now. It's just kind of sitting there
until it gets cold.
Yeah, right.
Wait for the weather to get cold again, and then you guys.
Because no events, no one was really doing events, so we kind of put it on the back burner. But when pre-COVID, we were how many? Almost 20 employees.
16.
16 employees.
Damn.
And then COVID, dude, we dropped just me and Caro. At one time, it was just us two.
Oh, shit.
And then, boom, we jumped back up. Now we're back up to 15, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but like I will say this, man, our team, like the team that we have right now is amazing. You know what I mean? Like me and Gato, the warden over here, she does crack the whip on us and stuff. But I mean, I wouldn't have it no other way.
Yeah.
Our team's amazing. We could leave to Europe for a couple weeks and there was not one fire.
Japan,
So we did, and it's cool, and you gotta make sure that team really, is in tune and running things the way you see it, because that's your livelihood. That's how you pay your cell phone bill. That's how I pay our car payment. That's how we pay their car payments and their cell phone bills.
Exactly.
So we all got to we're like a football team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're really thankful for our team and our girls and just our family. We're beyond blessed.
That's
right. And
I hear you.
I love it. I love every minute of it.
What about? So I know you guys are. I have my favorites, and we've designed a couple drinks going into Por Vida, like coffee drinks.
I was just thinking of that one today.
What was it called? Chingazo? Yeah, what was in that? But it was bomb, dude. I go there, give me a chingazo. And I was like, you guys should put this on the menu, because it was just strong caffeine, like a triple shot or something crazy. So it was a shot.
What is a shot of espresso?
Vanilla
and cream.
And something else we can't tell you.
Oh, yeah. And it's actually really about something else. It's how it's poured.
Yeah,
It's
there's
how
a
it's
way
poured.
to pour it.
You have to pour it a certain way.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Bobby brings, so he'll bring, everybody. We've had, Jack from Psycho Realm comes through.
Yeah.
We've had Fieldy and try it. All these guys try the chingazo. So, Esteban loves it.
Yeah, you got to try this. You got to try it.
Yeah. So all these guys come through and they like
and
the
it's
chingazo.
usually the way we do it. We'll go eat at Salud and then walk down the street and get our coffee.
And we love that, man. I think that's
and then you guys do one with mazapan, right?
Yeah, mazapan latte. Yeah.
Which is your most popular drink there, or the top 3?
The mazapan latte is for sure the most favorite.
Horchata latte.
The horchata latte and
Our
Por Vida, our
Por Vida
signature.
is a classic.
Yeah,
It's our
that's
signature.
our classic signature drink.
Yeah, and people try to do it now. Man, I'll tell you, we've perfected the horchata latte. People try to. Starbucks even tried it. All these Better Buzz. Oh, they can't even. I'm saying it. They can't even compete.
So who's the what do you call it?
The chemist?
Yeah.
We have to give it up to Manny, my boy.
Yeah,
Manny.
Manny's badass.
Manny's
Oh,
yeah.
Manny's badass.
Manny's got that tattoo of the coffee.
yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
The,
Portafilter.
Mm-hmm.
on his arm,
On
right?
his arm. Yeah.
That's a hardcore barista right
That's why
there.
he has his own day, Manny
Yeah,
Mondays.
Manny Mondays. He has his own day at
Shout out Manny.
Yeah, so every Monday too, he does like a special drink and it changes monthly.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that he can only serve it on Manny Mondays in the morning up until 1 when he leaves.
And he's there and he leaves.
So
He
go,
comes
if
in
you're
like
listening to this, go see Manny on Mondays at Por Vida.
dude, he's like Drake of coffee, dude. He comes in, he just drops his 4 songs, and he's done. He just collects his cash and he's out.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm not playing. Like,
Yeah.
he got it down like that, And we give it to him, man, because you know what? He's the man. He does what he does.
He's been there a long time, huh?
From
A
the jump.
very long time.
From the jump. You know, he's been there for the jump. And, and maybe some of the other employees be like, how you get to do that? You know what? We love Manny.
Yeah.
I love Manny. Manny took a hiatus. He took off on us for a little while. And I was like, that fool will be back. He'll be back,
Yeah.
But nah, he just needed a little time to stretch his legs. You know what I mean? Like we all do. You know? But he came back and he's good as ever. You know what I mean? And we really appreciate him too. He's a G.
You know, one thing that we got to do is get Johnny to talk more.
No, Johnny's good. He just
We're sharing the mic right now, so I'm trying to.
Did you notice?
trying
Did you
to-
notice how he improvised right
Yeah,
here?
no, he's
Yeah.
great.
So we got a swinging mic.
Yeah,
there was-
because one of the tracks isn't picking up one of the mics isn't working.
But you see how he
so
did
now
this,
we're
right?
sharing.
Like
good.
just to like the way he
Skillful.
handled it. Look at
Yeah.
that. He's Johnny Swings.
Smooth. It's my porno name, right?
Johnny Sweats.
Johnny
Yeah.
Swings.
Oh, we talked about that last one. I found Honky
Honky
Kong.
Kong. Adam.
Okay.
He was drenched over there in the
He's
corner.
a sweater,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. So we had two, because Johnny Sweats, right? You know, they call him Johnny Sweat. So, and I called but Johnny was sweating, but Adam was like dripping. I was like, bro.
Yeah, it's
So
next
So
level
they're
stuff.
both sweaters.
Yeah.
You know, so
I gotta
now
step up my game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was, dude, wait till you hear that one. That one was good. But we've been so blessed just to be a part of this community and people like yourselves that have helped it to grow and make it more exciting. Because without what's happening in Barrio Logan, or just around the community here, we wouldn't be where we're at either. So, I always, tribal and lower left and this community is not me, it's not us in this building, it's everybody, people outside the building, people that come to the building, people that contribute, people that support, people that in the San Diego community, that makes us all who we are. And that's one thing that I think people, not just from San Diego, but people outside of San Diego, they see it. They come here, they go to Logan Avenue, they see, man, San Diego's cool. Like everybody gets along down there. They're a community. They support each other. Everybody knows everybody. Like there's a tie that runs through us all. Like there's a string that goes through all of us. And it's really, really cool. And we're fortunate and blessed to live and be a part of this community that's not just, everybody, dude. Like everybody, like you at the coffee shop or on Logan Avenue, because you're there all the time, you see everybody.
Yeah, and that's what you said, Bobby, is so true because everyone's a contributor, and I feel like with you and Tribal, as a brand and what you've guys done, and have you guys been, like, when you guys say worldwide, we're talking worldwide, right? But it's solidified and true, because when I'm at Barrio Logan on the register and I look up and I see like 10 Japanese people there, I'm like, they're going to tribal, or they just came from tribal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you know, and it's just the way it is. Like I don't think that, honestly, I can honestly say the park is definitely the heart. The park is the draw. I will never take that away.
Always.
But, you know,
Right.
but at the same time, like, these people are coming because they come and they're going to go, oh yeah, we're going to lower left. We just came to get coffee.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or
The
they come in there,
community has grown.
yeah,
And,
Exactly.
you know,
and then, like I said, these people are coming from everywhere. And that's the cool part about it.
and it's a trip, dude. I was, you know, going, I don't remember what I think I had a guy here from Nike. Shout out Ben. I don't know if Ben's listening to this, whatever, but I was driving him. He wanted to see Chicano Park, and I took him, you know, to Barrio Logan before his flight. And we're driving through there, and there's like a bunch of older white people, you know, not, no offense, or not trying to be rude or anything, taking pictures and in the park and with cameras and like, you know, 10 of them.
Yeah.
Like, they had to be like from who knows. They looked like they were from another state or something.
Right.
Who would have imagined? Who would have thought? Or, you know, even with my daughter with Seychelles, she's like, oh, what are you going to do tonight? And she goes, oh, I'm going to go to Logan, and, you know, we're going to go to this art show. We're going to go here and there. And I'm like, I would never have thought. Like, I go, okay, man, I'll have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's absolutely true, because
You know?
before, when I was a teen growing up, my parents are immigrants. I'm first generation. When I would ask about going to Chicano Park Day, my dad would be like, hell no, like, you're crazy. You'll never go in that neighborhood. And even when I first moved into the neighborhood 10 years ago, like, my mom was freaking the heck out. She was like, how are you moving into this neighborhood? It's get over there. And you're not gonna, you know, it won't be good for your son. And now
they own a business.
Now they own a business there, you know. But that's
And now her dad has his phone out. He's filming all the low that come down the street.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, you know, that's just
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a
you know,
beautiful thing.
It really is. And hopefully it can stay this way. You know, it can stay that way. And it doesn't, but, you know, going back to what we discussed earlier is, we have to protect it.
Yes.
And we have to like keep our eyes and our ears open and make sure that parts of it remain and they don't get tarnished, and the people respect the community, respect the culture, the roots, the legacy of the families that are there, the families that, you know, there's families that have been there forever. They aren't going to go anywhere. Yeah. And that's important, man.
It's very important.
Because we've seen it, you know, it happened in LA all over the place. Like, there's places that are just, the barrios are relatively gone.
Yeah.
You know, but like you said too, is I agree. Chicano Park is going to be part of the reason that this is going to be here forever.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you got, like I said, you got all these key people that are actively working daily to protect the community. You know what I mean? And those people, sometimes they don't get to get on these podcasts, or, you know, you don't see them on the block, but there's so many of them that are just, I mean, we call ourselves contributors. These guys, they're, you know, Josita Lamantes, you know, these people that,
she's a badass too.
Sheesh. Yeah. You know, Victor Ochoa.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are active. You know what I mean?
Since the 70s.
Since the 70s, and they're still holding
or
it
before
down.
the 70s, before 1970.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, and then, you know, then there's this younger generation of activists that are pounding the pavement right now, you know, and, but like I said, they don't get that kind of, they don't get that kind of, like, for say, shine, you know, but we are so grateful and thankful for those people that I feel like they're on the forefront. You know what I mean? Of doing that, you know, knowing that lingo and that walk of real, like, activism
and it's a different challenge.
It is.
The challenge that they had in the night from 1970 was completely different from the challenges that they're encountering today.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's important for them to understand those challenges. So I think it's just as difficult, you know, but it's a different approach, obviously, with everything else that's going on. But yeah, man, it's It's badass, and congratulations to you two for doing what you do, and your family and your business. And I think it's badass that you guys are traveling, you're enjoying the fruits of your labor.
Yes, sir.
I know you just recently moved and you got a pad and your business is growing. You're going to a new location. And Milo's got a badass ride
right now.
It took him a while. Like he kept switching them out. And I think he found the one that was really.
I don't know.
Oh no, yeah, but no, I think I might. No, don't sell this one.
Yeah, we love it, man. We love cruising and going on Sundays, and like that's our thing. That's like we love that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's
gonna be a tough one, dude. You can't get rid of this one because this one's gonna be hard to top. Because you got this one. I just
jumped in this game, like you and Johnny here. You guys know about that, and I feel like I know about it because I hear you guys talk about it and stuff. But for someone who doesn't, and the first time you get that feeling of, you know what I mean? There's no. I heard a saying. It's like a surfer said, "Oh, the first barrel or the tube that you get, no one can ever describe what that feels like. But the first time you hit that switch on a low, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, no one can ever describe what that feels like. I'm being serious. Like
when you got the right music on, the lighting's right, the vibe is good. Yep.
Johnny knows because I see, Johnny be doing
Johnny's a pro.
He's a pro. He's a pro.
I'm all right.
Yeah, Johnny he's a romantic.
I see it, dude.
I'm a GoPro.
I've seen him on both ends, and then I seen Johnny switches after a few.
Just started hitting the switches all over the place.
Like he's driving like
trying to three-wheel the Packer.
Like, does he know what car he has right now? He doesn't have the 6.1. He has this really expensive oldie.
When I'm doing it, like it's always like fun and all that. And the next day I'm like, and then all the money it costs to fix it.
Exactly. But that's a whole different game and a whole different conversation. But
you're right in the middle of it. You see it all from where you're at.
Yeah,
but you've absorbed it and you've been able to build a badass car.
Right, and I'm trying to stay true to it because like I see all the weirdness that goes with it, and I don't want to get caught up in that. I love all those different car clubs that support Por Vida. They come through all of them. But I really love those clickers though. Those guys are bad dudes. You know what I mean? I love their cars, and for real, honestly, I love the way they're just. To me, they've always been cool to me, what I mean? And they've always, it just always welcomed us. And he always invited me, come to our picnic.
Good dudes, man.
Very good dudes,
real good dudes.
So, and I bring that up because of the show that you guys did was amazing, by the way.
Thanks, Sums.
That thing was like,
something a little different.
I mean, it's something a little different. It was, I felt like, I even said, like, I felt like, it was staged so perfectly that I had to like walk through it again and be like, okay, I see what Bobby was doing there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
shout out to my boy SD Tone. Dude.
Yeah. Did Tone put in work?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Tone and I, like, we were out there measuring and laying stuff out, and the clickers got down, but SD Tone, like that's a dude. Him and I really put in a lot. That's my boy. Yeah. So he it was definitely a challenge because of the way the buildings were set up. But when I first walked into that old building, the tall building, the old building, I was like, I just knew, like, fuck, I gotta do something in here because it was one of those opportunities and one of those things, like you just said earlier, if I don't, then someone's gonna do something. I'll be like, fuck, I should have done something. Yeah. So, but it was fun, man.
It was weird because, like, Legacy was on a whole other level, I feel, but I feel like this one was so intimate. Yeah, I felt like it was more intimate.
It was like more communal.
More communal, like the community. And it was so like you could like not touch
Legacy was international, like more of an national vibe, I think, where San Diego's Finest was only San Diego.
Right.
Like the artists that painted were San Diego. All the rides were San Diego. Everything was San Diego. So the intention was to showcase it was mind blowing. San Diego. Bobby. Thanks, bro. It was fun. But thanks to Caro again, dude. For she was a big help with everything too.
Marisa. Big ups to Marisa.
I love that lady.
She's another badass.
You know, Marisa,
she's
awesome.
Solid, dude.
Yeah, she's
super
awesome.
solid. She was in here the other day and just a beautiful person. Yeah,
she
just
is.
really.
What about our boy Sasha?
What's well, that's a whole other podcast in its own.
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't bring that up.
Shout out Sasha.
You gotta get him on because I'd like to hear.
Dude, there'd be a lot of edits in that one.
Yeah,
but shout out Sasha for allowing us to use the buildings for San Diego's finest, for everything he's done for both of us.
My building that Por Vida's in, he's
and to him and his family and for really helping us both, like just with different projects. He's a real good dude. He's a trip, but love that dude. But don't take that the wrong way, Sasha. You know what I mean?
He already has. It's too late for that.
But I want to thank you guys again. Johnny be good for all I think for all the 12 sentences.
Yeah.
I felt like Johnny didn't say much, but you know what? He doesn't say much on the other ones too, so I don't feel bad when we're talking.
No,
I called him last night. I go, Johnny, sometimes I feel like I get to a point. I mean, I was cool right now, but on other podcasts, I'll get to a point where I feel like I'm starting to like struggle or like fuck. But there's people that will talk. And then there's people that I gotta keep poking them to get them to talk, and they'll do like, well, it was good.
Yeah,
not Milo Heights.
Yeah, not Milo.
No. I want to say this real quick though. I am so surprised that Bobby is actually doing this podcast, like not just here with me, but like in general, because
really private,
right? Bobby is like he's that guy. He's like, he's standing right behind you. You look back and he's gone. You know what I mean? And you're like,
well, you know what? And
I get it.
There was something to say, bro. Like I know. That's why I'm saying. I'm not one for like bunch of photos or videos. But I feel like there's some things that need to be said in different different things that I'm involved with. Streetwear. I think it's just, especially, the clothing industry and streetwear. There was some things that were there. And then just looking around me, I realized like, man, I have this amazing network of some just great people, talented people, just great people, and that need to say some things too. And there's a lot of really cool stories that should be told and not just left by the wayside. And, there's stuff to talk about and things.
And that's the thing though, because I mean, I think Bobby it's like every day somebody walks through the door of no matter what walk of life it is, you know what I mean? And I think like that's perfect. It's a perfect forum for that. But I was just a little surprised that Bobby was the guy on the other side of the mic, because I already know how, like, I won't even say it's like emo.
Well, why we haven't done the cameras yet is because
exactly.
we don't know how to position them. It's probably gonna be one going this way and one going that way.
I'm sure someone's saying, I'm sure he's probably at home by himself doing it. He just has a mic and he's mic'd up. He's not really there,
Or maybe on that side, because you have this window right here.
Yeah. Oh, he'll figure it out. He'll figure out not to be in it.
Yeah.
Believe me.
That's pretty much it.
He'll figure it out. But man, I appreciate you, Bobby.
Thank you, brother. I love you guys.
Thank you.
And that's for real.
Yes.
And thanks again for everything and taking the time to be here today. We'll do it again. And this is, this is your platform too. If you guys have anything or anybody you think you want, we can come in and do it again with somebody else. Or I know you guys meet a lot of really cool people. Yeah. If there's any shout outs you guys have or anything you want.
Luis is saying shout them out. So shout out to Luis. But just the community of Barrio Logan, I want to say shout out to them and Ernie, man, San Diego Taco.
That's right.
That dude, that's the man right there. Salud, you know what I mean?
SD Taco King.
Yes, sir. That guy out there. And then, who else? Just, the Santanas.
Yep. To the family, to our Por Vida crew.
Yeah, that's it, man. Just
and Johnny Sweat.
Johnny Sweat. Thank you for keeping it under 5 cents, Johnny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. He did pretty good today. I swear.
I did.
Right? Lord Left Podcast, 17th and Island, San Diego's East Village, Por Vida. We're out.